Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Decoded. And I am super excited to have Carrie Steinmetz with me, who is a mother of two, a New Yorker through and through, and also a fiercely competitive ballroom dancer. What? Okay. And then to add to that, she is the board chair of dancing classrooms. So lots of questions to be had here for Carrie. So let's start with, what inspired you to become a ballroom dancer? I mean, you've got so much on your plate. You're taking care of a home. You're taking care of a family. How did that start?
Yeah, thanks. I actually danced in the closet for 40 years, basically. I would take a little foray out for social here and there, but I dreamed about it constantly, and said, we'll deal with that later. And then when I turned 40, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a private lesson just for me, and went to the local Fred Astaire, and it just takes one. It just takes one lesson, and that was it. It was,
You were hooked.
hooked.
Wow.
And and I said, wow, this is for me. This feels right. I'm having fun. I met really, really awesome people, really amazing women, and just took it from there. And then this idea came up about, hey, we should compete. Of course, my teacher was trying to drag me out there, and I've had a history of kind of performance anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. My mom is a concert pianist, and so I took a ton of piano as a little girl, and really hated it. I have the fingers, but I have no juice in them, and so went through a lot of recitals, and hence had a lot of anxiety for it. So I said, you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna not so much control, but we're gonna manage this performance anxiety. So basically it was fear that inspired me. Fear and the fake eyelashes, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, who can say no to the fake eyelashes?
I mean,
So, wow. And so at around age 40, you decided, not only am I going to pursue something that's always been your dream, but then on top of that, you're going to go and put yourself out there and really try to overcome a challenge you have. So you're pursuing something you love and at the same time overcoming a challenge. That's a lot to take in.
yeah, it really rocked my world. It definitely did. But I think what I really enjoyed about this style of dance, right? There's so many beautiful styles of dance, right? From modern and tap,
Right.
but really, for me, for the partner dance, it's really exciting because I find that style is very transformational, because you really find out about who you are, who you want to be, and then connect that with somebody else. How do you do that? It
Okay.
almost, yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. We got to stop with that. What does that mean? Figure out who you are, like who you want to be, and connect with someone else. Decode that for me, please.
Yeah. So, there's, what it feels like to be held, right? And if you're getting kind of tugged around, or you can say, hey, I don't kind of feel comfortable with that, or could we try it this way? So you start to dig into yourself, like, I don't know, I'm not feeling this way, or things you would never kind of explore that area if you weren't within a partner dance. When you're kind of dancing solo, you get like your freedom of expression completely, right? When you're in a partner hold, or when you're working with someone, I find that that's kind of like that magnifies that discovery, that internal discovery, because you have to, because you are experiencing something with someone.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
So what did you discover?
What's this?
What did you discover when you say this internal discovery?
Yes. So, what I discovered is balance, balance, stability before mobility, grounding myself before I give everything away.
Mm-hmm.
It's I used to tend to kind of just, okay, let's go, and kind of just like give everything away right away. But that can be really draining and ultimately physically not the best choice. So found a lot of grounding and balance actually through partner dancing. And
So is this like a metaphor for life too?
as it turns out, that was also something I kind of discovered, that dance, the two really do mirror and reflect each other. The things that I learn in the ballroom, I do bring it right into life. Just taking the lead.
How does this notion of being grounded first before kind of letting go to your partner, that notion that you had to come to when you started learning ballroom dancing, how does that then play itself out in your real life? How did you take that learning and adapt it?
Right. And I do it every day, because
Wow.
things can be so crazy, right? And as it has been, very unsettling. So, I have to remind myself, wait a minute, before I kind of, make some rash decisions or just kind of go with things. Okay, wait, let me take a full body scan. How am I feeling? Am I on edge? Or how can I kind of manage my own emotions first before working with the kids and getting through finals and online school? Or how do we talk about social injustice or inequity issues, right? And how are we going to manage the organization through this new movement on top of remote learning and a pandemic? And so it's really important. I found that not only in dancing, before you make that contact with someone else, to have a good assessment of where you are first.
Yeah. I found the same thing, that when I was, I do a lot of public speaking, and part of the coaching that I was given was about first grounding myself and like actually doing physical exercises. And I'm sure that applies to your life, right? Giving myself physical exercises to ground me first before I am then ready to go on stage or even go into a meeting and give myself over.
Yes. Right. And then it's like, then you can really kind of come out from your heart, right? Because you kind of get all the jitters out and all the mind stuff kind of comes out, and you can really speak from your heart.
So what are those exercises you do? Like how do you ground yourself?
Sure. Well, in when I'm dancing, I do rumba is one of the styles I do, and so rumba walks are always amazing. So it's really grounding your feet with the floor, like making that connection through your feet with the floor, and then engaging your muscles in your body, and really like all your muscles. And, from your upper body all the way down, and just taking some laps and breathing, expanding your chest, connecting everything, not trying to, being aware of your fingers and your arms. Details are very grounding. So even if you're just to pick up a hat or something, you can just pick up your hat and not pay attention, but actually, I feel, the metal part is actually colder than the material. Like you can actually when you go into detail, I find it kind of blocks out all the mind stuff that can get in the way of the stuff you want to.
That's super interesting, because one of the things that I was taught was to focus, like there's literally a set of exercises that I was taught to do by my coach. One of them being to really discover. And it's kind of a similar thing to what you were saying. It's like really discover the details, because when an audience knows that I'm really looking at them and discovering them, they feel it, and they feel that sense of connection. And so I'd have to do this exercise, and I wonder if this is like what you have to do. And now you're finally I feel like there's this connection here, because one of the exercises I would have to do was literally like do this breathing exercise and then slowly open my eyes and discover what's in the room. But like what you said, the details in the room. And like I've lived in this apartment for a while. I mean, but still, like I thought I knew every detail, but there's always something more to discover. And I wonder
Yes.
if part of it is the mind, but I wonder if it's also like just having that discovery mindset as you jump into this experience.
Absolutely. And
This notion of connecting with your partner and the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, which, amen, believe that, no question. And actually, that is something critical that I try to implement in my teams at work. So how do you take that notion and bring that back to life, whether that's with your mom or with your partner or with the people you work with? Like, how have you reincorporated that?
yes, I do. I think I have become a better listener, honestly, through the process, because a lot of times we, want to explain our side or where we're coming from, and it kind of blocks what the other person's trying to say, or sometimes you can't hear it as well. So I think in terms of those observational skills, listening is also observational, kind of a strange way, observation, we think of eyes, but it's actually ears too.
Yes.
And so I listen a lot better or I'm working on it. This is a daily journey, right? This is all about the journey, but it's listening, I think, is key. And the dancing in a partnership has helped me become a better listener, a better observer, for that ultimate communication we want to have together. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've taken some of your learnings from ballroom dancing and competitive dancing to your social life beyond your partner, like with your friends?
Let's see.
Or the clicks that you have to, absorb yourself
yeah.
in?
You know what? I would say it's such an interesting question. Yeah, I would say I definitely have, because this whole process has made me more in touch with who I am, that I'm much more confident about whatever kind of, group I'm in, even a new situation or the friends I have, we can have even deeper connections, because
Interesting.
I don't know if that's that plus being 50 now. I don't know if that's, sometimes you get to that point where you're like, hey, this is how it is. And but I think also the dancing has made me more authentic as just a human being and compassionate as well. So
that is super interesting. So I think I've been able to kind of understand how you're more compassionate. Talk to me about how you're more authentic because of ballroom dance.
mm-hmm. Again, I would say it's I'm getting to know more myself and accepting of it. Whereas I might be a little more judgy in the past. Now, if I have a thought or feeling, instead of just kind of shutting it down, I'm more open to exploring that. Oh, why did I feel that way? Oh, why did I, without judging it right away.
Right.
To kind of explore that and give myself that space to listen to myself. And then, of course, so when you're more compassionate with yourself, you can be more compassionate with others. Right?
Oh, these are awesome lessons to take with us. So
it's all dance. Dance has really brought all of this out into the light. As I said before, it's the one reflects the other.
Right. And also the fact that you took a risk to not only follow your heart, right? Which may have been a little bit weird to some people. It sounds like it was maybe a little weird to yourself, but also then you took that extra risk to go out and perform. And so what has the overcoming that challenge and going out and performing done for you?
Yeah. It's funny, it almost doesn't matter whether it's kind of a small competition or the big competition. I still have so many butterflies and stuff. And even today, well, not today, we're in the middle of a pandemic, but when we were competing in the ballrooms, right? the scariest part for me was when the group that is currently dancing, that music went down. That means we're going to come out. So the end of their jive, hearing that music fade out is like, I think, why am I here? I don't do this. I forgot what I'm doing. Who are you? And then it's like, we're off. And then we stop. We have a bit, it's almost like things can disappear. And on a good day, we get right back into it and do our best,
And how do you
so
when
I think it's about that taking. Oh,
yeah. No. Keep on going. I'm sorry, I interrupt you. Go on.
Yeah. So taking that kind of feel of the competition into real life, it's the same kind of thing, right before, the board meeting, right? It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't think I could do it, and it's like, take the leap. It's about just taking the leap.